Imagine a world where the US dollar is no longer the global currency that everything revolves around. Now, that is the future some of the world's biggest countries are discussing right now. Welcome to BRICS 2024, a summit where Russia, India, China, and other nations are planning to reshape global economics. Now, this isn't just another meeting. What's happening here could impact everything from how we trade, to which currencies dominate, to the balance of global power itself. So stick with me as we dive in this video. So what happened at the BRICS Summit 2024 October? So this is a summit that's held in Kazan, Russia, and this meeting is one of the largest diplomatic events Russia has hosted in years. Vladimir Putin himself welcomed world leaders like China's Xi Jinping and India's Narendra Modi, along with representatives from countries like Egypt, Iran, and the UAE. Now, the timing of this is significant. Russia has been heavily sanctioned and isolated by the West following its invasion of Ukraine. But here's Putin standing alongside global leaders, signaling that, Russia still has important international allies. 36 world leaders showed up, and as Putin sees it, this summit is a clear message that despite the war, Russia still has plenty of international partners willing to interact with Russia and trade. So you may be wondering, what is BRICS? Now, let's quickly break it down. Basically, BRICS is an economic group made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, this was initially formed in 2009, and the goal was to create an alliance that could challenge the dominance of Western-led institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. Now, over time, the group has grown with countries like Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the UAE, which is now joining and is referred to as BRICS Plus. Now, the key idea behind BRICS is to create a platform that allows these countries to trade and develop economically without relying on Western financial systems or currencies. And this coincides a lot with the US dollar, and it's about creating an alternative to the current global order. So you may be wondering, how will this affect the rest of the world, and what does it mean? Well, the BRICS Summit is more than just a meeting. It's a signal that we might be entering a new era of global economics. If BRICS countries succeed in their goals, the US dollar dominance could be significantly weakened. They've been discussing ideas like using their own currencies for trade to reduce dependence on the dollar, and even developing a BRICS payment system to bypass the current SWIFT financial system, which is controlled by the West. Now, if they pull this off, it could give them more control over their economies and protect them from Western sanctions. But the thing is, at the same time, it could create financial instability for the rest of the world if the dollar's value starts fluctuating. So, what are they trying to do? The core ambition here is to de-dollarize the global economy. BRICS countries are tired of the fact that international trade and finance are dominated by the US dollar, and they're looking for ways to change that. For example, at this summit, Russia proposed the creation of a BRICS grain trading exchange, allowing them to trade agricultural products without having to go through Western-dominated markets. They also discussed using national currencies for bilateral trade to avoid relying on the dollar. But there are also challenges here. Not all BRIC countries are fully aligned. For example, while China and Russia are strongly anti-Western, countries like India and Brazil still have strong economic ties with Western countries and may not be as eager to fully distance themselves from the current global system. Now, there is also the issue of credibility. BRICS has been talking about these ideas for years, but so far, not many of them have actually been implemented. As of now, most BRICS trade still happen in the US dollar, and some experts doubt whether they can truly replace the dollar in the near future. So what we're going to be looking at now is what do people actually think about BRICS and what is happening in this summit. On one hand, supporters see BRICS as a necessary step towards a multipolar world where global power isn't concentrated in the hands of the US and its surrounding allies. They argue that Western institutions like the IMF and World Bank serve Western interests and that BRICS offers an alternative that gives emerging economies more control. On the other hand, critics say, BRICS faces too many internal divisions to be truly effective. Countries like India and China have long-standing political tensions, and there is also skepticism about whether BRICS can offer a stable alternative to the dollar, especially given that even with BRICS, economic power is unevenly distributed. China dominates the group economically, and that could lead to imbalances within the alliance of BRICS itself. And let's not forget the global wider context here. The West isn't just going to sit back and let all of this happen and let BRICS take over. We're likely going to see competition between Western-led institutions and the BRICS countries, especially as BRICS continues to expand. So overall, what is the takeaway? The takeaway is that in the 2024 BRICS Summit, it's a major signal that the world order is shifting. Whether or not BRICS succeeds in reducing dependence on the dollar or creating new financial systems is that one thing is clear. The countries involved are determined to carve out more independence from the West, and with nations like China, Russia, and India at the helm, there is something the world cannot afford to ignore. But with internal tensions and the challenges of creating new financial systems, the question remains: will BRICS be the start of a new global era, or will it fall short of its ambitions? Well, here's the only thing that I can be sure of: only time will tell. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video as to what is happening within the 2024 BRICS Summit. Do you guys think they will be able to go ahead and devalue the US dollar and have their own currencies basically be the star of the show? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Hope you've enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one.